time to do another WatchGeek watch unboxing video. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate you tuning in. I've got a really cool piece to reveal today from a very underappreciated brand, but a brand that has some excellent history. I am talking about Ball Watch USA. And I will unbox this. And the first thing you might notice right off the bat is that cool little official standard RR script, that logo. Well, since 1891 it says underneath that, if you can read it. And I'll tell you why. This is named after Webster C. Ball, a gentleman from Ohio who was a watchmaker. In 1891, there was a railroad crash in Kipton, Ohio. Deadly crash. After that, Webster Ball was commissioned as the official timekeeper of the railways. If the engineers' watches had been running correctly, they had been keeping proper time, that crash might have never taken place. Ball stepped in, manufactured watches for the railroads, for the timekeepers at the station. Ball himself was responsible, I believe, for setting the watches and winding the watches of the station masters. He was the one that got everybody on proper timekeeping procedures and had everybody synchronized. And the rest, as they say, is history. Even today, when somebody uses the idiom on the ball, it is a reference to Webster Ball. And I'm going to unbox this Ball watch. Interestingly enough, as I slide the cover from the outer box off, I'm just going to take this little piece of paper that I have here and kind of pull it out of the way. That is my receipt. I bought this watch from a third-party watch buyer, seller, trader online called Crown and Caliber. It had the paperwork. It did not have the box. It did not have the manual. So I went through a little bit of an expense going on eBay, trying to find an original box. You know me, I like to have everything, the complete package. I'm into the provenance, if you will. So I found the box that this watch was housed in. The first thing that we see here is a little envelope. And if you open it up, we have a warranty card. Just kind of a generic warranty card. It doesn't mention the name of the watch specifically. But then we also have the card for my specific watch. I don't know what that 78-8 means on the card, but all of the information that's pertinent to my specific watch, the model number, the serial number, everything like that is on the back. And of course, kind of cool, there's no actual booklet per se, there's no manual. There's a CD-ROM inside there, which even that is becoming somewhat obsolete now. But if you have a computer, if you still have a desktop computer like I do, that has a CD drive, you could put this in there and your manual is right here. Now, we have this box and there's this kind of leather tab here and it slides out. And we will take our first look right there at the watch inside the box. I do like that we have our Ball hang tag on the back of the watch as well. I like when everything is included. So this is kind of an interesting piece. And I don't know, even as I'm filming this right now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a loom shot. But let me just tell you that there are gas tubes inside of the numbers and the hour markers. You see they're kind of big and blocky. There's gas tubes in there. And at night, boy, I'll tell you what, if you've had this thing under the light all day and then you turn the lights off, this thing really glows brightly. It puts on a nice show. The hang tag has been removed. We've got the RR logo, which, as I've explained and now you know and have probably been able to piece together, the RR means railroad, official railroad standard. And now we have our first look at the Ball Engineer 2, not 1, 2, the second Engineer series, the Ball Engineer 2 Arabic, as indicated, of course, by the Arabic numerals. The 12, 9, and 6 position. And of course, there's not one at the 3 o'clock position because there's a date window there. Let's take a closer look at the dial. As we take a closer look at the watch here, we can see that we've got nice, bold stick markers at the 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, and 11 o'clock positions. At our quarter hour positions, we've got a nice bold 12, 9, and 6. And then, of course, a magnified date window at the 3 o'clock position. Also, if we take a look around the chapter ring of the watch, we see in addition to the individual minute markers, at every 5-minute increment, we actually have an Arabic numeral, 5, 10, 15, 20, etc., written out in a very interesting sort of forest green type color. And it also matches the forest green color of the seconds hand. And as you can see that seconds hand rotating around, it also has that very attractive RR logo on the counterbalance of the second hand. I don't always like an embellishment on the counterbalance of a second hand, but it works very well for this watch, which could normally be considered sporty, but it kind of gives it a dressy feel, combined with the fact that there's no rotating bezel, just a smooth steel bezel on this watch. The interesting thing about this watch and the bezel, this is a 40 millimeter watch, but it actually looks a bit smaller because it doesn't have the rotating bezel. I was somewhat on the fence about wearing this watch. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it. I wore it when I did one of my food review videos, and as I was watching that video back, I saw the watch on my wrist, and I said, what watch was I wearing that day? That looks very classy. And I realized it was the ball. And at that moment, I realized that this watch was a keeper. If you take a look, we also have the RR logo on the winding crown. On the back of the watch, you could see anti-magnetic, Ball Watch Company, Swiss made, and a tribute to Webster Sea Ball in the form of a steam locomotive. This watch also has a really cool butterfly clasp. Take a look. There's the RR logo again on the clasp. Very nicely done. And this watch, as you can see, the clasp is hidden. It's a continuous bracelet. Kind of hard to see how to open it. Let me just watch as I put my thumb underneath right here, and I'm just going to give it a little push, and it's open just that easily. What do I like about this watch? There's a very nice, elegant combination of sport and dress. You've got those nice big Arabic numerals. They just really pop. Dress-wise, it's a nice, clean white dial with an extremely attractive bracelet, and it really dresses up nicely. I also have, if you remember the video that I did with my Hamilton watch and that aftermarket strap that came with it, putting this cherry strap on there with the white dial and those green accents would look absolutely fantastic. I'd say the only downside of this watch is it winds a little bit rough. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the nature of the movement. I think I got spoiled when I used to have my Tudor. This is an ETA movement, so it doesn't quite have that same finesse. Winds a little rough, but not terrible, just not quite as finesse as some of your higher end watches. That's not to say that this isn't a high-end watch, but you know what I mean. So tell me what you think. The Ball Engineer 2 Arabic. Fantastic watch, fantastic nod to the history of the railroad in this country. Let me know what you think. I've really enjoyed wearing this watch. Haven't got to wear it too much yet. I'm going to be putting this on my wrist more and more. I like it every time I pull it out and take a look at it. Anyway, that's been another unboxing video. I'm Dan, and I'm a huge watch geek. Thanks for checking me out.